beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was, and what a beautiful day today. So anyway, I love you so much, and make sure you are, thinking about your loved ones, and reach out to the ones out there who love and support you. Call them up, give them a call, and let them know what you think of them, or check up on them, see if they're okay. Starlight does this a lot. I think I definitely reach out to my family more than they reach out to me, and it doesn't matter. That's the thing that that's a thing that we got to let go of. Is I used to always think, well, they need to reach out to me, but we also need to reach out to them. And so anyway, I love you so much, and I appreciate all of you, and thank you for all of you who are here, loving and supporting Starlight. Thank you for all of you who have been here for a long time, watching my videos, watching me grow, and I appreciate all of you. And Starlight is saying a big, huge thank you to all of you who watch my videos, or give me a thumbs up, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. And those of you who leave a comment or even share my videos, I appreciate all of you. And also, if anyone would like to send any love donations to Starlight, you can through my Cash App, and I will have that information here, ping, on my YouTube channel. Also, before I start going on this video, hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can also leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family, your friends. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Okay, now today, whether you know this or not, you're going through training. You're going through training. I'll tell you what, I didn't know I was going through training either, until it hit me, bam, Starlight got hit really hard, and I was like, wow, the universe was preparing me for this my whole entire life. I've been preparing for this, where I am today, most of my life, is I've been preparing for what God is doing right now with me. But I'll tell you what, God's plan was a whole lot better than what my plan was. And it is kind of funny the way this has gone. So you might not be aware of it, but you're going through training right now. All the obstacles and all the, the struggles and all these things that you've gone through when you're even a child, and, your teenage years, your 20s, 30s, I don't know, how young are you? 30s, 40s, whatever age you are, all the way from the beginning, all the way to where you are now, you've been going through training. Boy, I'll tell you what, you got a lot to look forward to. It's blood, sweat, and tears, but I'll tell you what, your future self will thank you when you do the work, and so in this video, I'm going to explain how, whether you know this or not, some of you might be, well, yeah, Starlight, yeah, I know this, yeah, and some of you might not, have a clue until it hits you like it did with Starlight, like, boom, I've gotten hit so hard. I was like, wow, when you start putting the pieces together, and, because I'm always thinking, putting pieces together, my childhood, wondering, what was God, what was the universe showing me in my childhood years, and I was asking the wrong questions. I was like, why did this stuff happen to me? Now I understand is what God was teaching me. It's not, it wasn't why all that stuff happened, And believe me, you would not believe, if you heard all the things that did happen, so because there's people that are out there like Starlight. There's people that are chosen ones. I am one of the chosen ones, whether you believe it or not. And there's many other people around the world that are chosen ones. And in the Bible, it talks about chosen ones. And I had notes on that, but I don't have those notes here. Is for whatever reason, I know I signed up for this, and my past lifetime is to sign up to get born through the family that I did, so I can really help out generational stuff through my bloodline, through my family, and because of past lifetimes being here, is to clear out stuff from my past, and not only my past, but through my family, things that need to get cleared up. And so then generation, because a lot of things get passed down through us from our families, and so it's a painful experience to go through, but at the same time, it's very rewarding when you understand what happened, what God was trying to teach you. And I got some people out in this area where I am, a man that I met that doesn't believe in God. So I had a really good long talk with him about different things. And so I will have to talk with him again to see if that at all helped him out to understand things. So we're here to learn things, but for chosen ones, is that most of the chosen ones, if you're a chosen one, or like Starlight, a light worker, and that's why my name is Starlight, because our DNA has star dust in our DNA. It is in our DNA. So whether you believe this or not, and so saying all this stuff is chosen ones or light workers like myself and many other people that are out there. They're the ones out in the front line. They're out in the front, and they got to go through all this stuff like Starlight is, and many other people. That it's a healing process is what Starlight has been going through. I've been wanting to get healed my whole life, never knew how to get healed. Always was wondering, how do I get healed? I knew I needed to get healed. That's why I didn't want to jump in any relationships, because I was carrying a lot of stuff and I didn't know how to deal with it, And so with that being said, is that your childhood and your teen years, and even when you mature and age as time goes by, there's no accidents and there's no coincidences. Everything is happening, the way the universe set it all up for you. Whether you like it or not is really, there's no accidents or coincidences, so whatever relationships you were in, whatever you went through, it was meant to happen so you can grow through those things, and there's people out there that they get into really bad relationships. And now when I started out, I have to say that was me a long time ago, is I had a hard time, because it was my first time, being in love with somebody. Do you ever know what it was like the first time that you were in love with somebody? So but there's times that we could be in love with somebody out there, but are they really, I didn't know what love was, I didn't know what all that was about. I was only 17 years old. What do I know about what love is, So, but you know what? I kept on going back to the same abusive situation, thinking I needed that person to be, I didn't think I would be able to survive, in my life. I was so young, and that happens to many people, is that they have to go through more pain, more lessons. And eventually, Starlight broke free from that situation. And, then there's other lessons I had to learn, just like you, we are all teachers, but, whether you understand this or not, we're all even though you're an adult, even though you might be a son or a daughter, we can teach our families, we can teach our mom and dad stuff, just because they're older and they are called mom and dad, it doesn't mean that they're the only ones that can teach us stuff. We could teach our family stuff by the choices that we make or the choices we decide not to make, whether, we copy what they did or whether we do something different. And I have to say, being a grandma and having kids of my own that, have their own children, it is something. You never think about it until you're there and until you're experiencing it. But, when you see how your children are bringing up their kids, and that's what in the Bible it says, really, it will determine what kind of a parent you were when you were bringing up your own, is how the grandkids, and how it gets passed down and how, so that will determine like what kind of parent you were, is by the way the kids take care of their own kids. So that could be an interesting thing. You're gonna, because you're not gonna always agree to how your kids are bringing up their kids, your grandkids. And there's times that you're gonna say, hey, you're doing an amazing job, So in whatever way you look at it, it's all, we're all teachers, You can learn something from a little toddler, or a little boy or a little girl. They could teach, they are. I tell parents all this everywhere I go when I see kids and I have like a conversation with the parents. I'm like, they are our teachers. And some of them quickly, yes, they are. Because Sterling, what are you talking about? How is that possible? Well, you know what? When you have kids, guess what you're going to learn? Patience. They're going to teach you patience. You're going to get tried. They're going to ruffle your feathers. They're going to, you want to rush. Well, guess what? You got to slow down, Hurry up, hurry. With children, a lot of times they're going to teach you to be patient because they might have a tantrum. You want to get somewhere, but now you got to deal with some stuff before you even go anywhere. So we are all, teaching each other different things one way or another, whether, we're teaching the right kind of thing, the right choices, or, like things that we might have to repeat in life. So we're going through training, once you get born into, your mom, you come out, boom, there's training going on all the way through. And God is getting you prepared for something greater later on. And that is why Starlight and many other people around the world we're already out in the field. We're already going through the training already. So I am going through training. The universe has put me through some hardcore training. And it does, people will ask me if I'm a veteran, and I'm like, no, but I'm a soldier for Christ. So because I'm going through training, and you might not even be aware if you are one of the chosen ones. And most of the chosen ones are the black sheep of their family. And Starlight was a black sheep of her family. And it's kind of funny with where I came from. My family, we had a lot of black sheeps. We only had a couple white ones. A lot of black ones. Because we had mixed families. I had step parents, I had half brothers, and I had stepmother, step brothers, and half brothers, a lot of brothers, one sister, so God is preparing you for something later to come, because that is why, I was preparing this for my whole life, but Starlight's plans were different than what God has. It's actually God's plan is much greater. I was preparing myself for the end times my whole life. That's why Starlight was out in the woods making forts. I did that at a very young age, even when I was growing up with my family. And so I made forts out in the woods made out of wood. You know, I always wanted to make a fort out in the woods without using nails. That was the trick, is how can I make it, you know, a fort out of these limbs and sticks and tree branches, you know, without using nails, you know, into the trees. So that is what Starlight worked on for many years, and that's what I was doing in New York before I got to this situation here, because I was planning for the end times where we are. You know, do you think we're in the end times? You know, I'll tell you what, a lot of people are saying, yes, we are in the end times right now. Even there's churches out there that are going on the corners of the streets. Hang on. Having signs out there saying Jesus is coming, you know, get prepared. So there's a lot of things going on around the world that people are getting prepared, you know. So that is why I'm where I am right now. There's no accident why I'm living in my car, going through. I had to learn all these things, you know, how to live in my car, how to hold things in my car, how to live in my car, how to be organized in my car, all these things. God had a better plan than Starlight, because Starlight's plan was to, you know, my mindset was like, oh, they're going to track me, they're going to find me. You know, I was, you know, my plan was to do this, live out in the land somewhere, you know, without a car. You know, I would have to have a car, but I didn't want the car where I was going to hide. And I wanted to, you know, be in a place where there was no towers, so nobody could find me, you know. So that was Starlight's plan. It would have been living out in a fort somewhere, or on the land somewhere, out in nature somewhere, and where I wouldn't have my, you know, I would have to walk to get there. But you know what? The universe had a different plan. I'm in my car instead of living off the land. I was always trying to figure it out, but I was still, through my whole life, working on these forts, getting them ready, you know, figuring out, perfecting them, you know, to survive. I was testing my forts out in the wintertime to see if they can, how I could do. I had to learn a lot, you know, like on building forts, and, you know, with wintertime in New York where I was, you know, because I didn't know where I was going to be. So I was thinking I was going to be in New York. So I was preparing my whole life for, well, most of my life, for the end times, to say, no, I am not, you're not taking my soul. I'm not for sale. You know, I will live off the land. I'll do whatever it takes, but I'm not, you know, doing that. My soul is not for sale. And so you might not understand what's going on in your life, all these different things, but you're going through training, whether you like it or not. The things that you're enduring, the hardship, and all these things. And you got to be positive through whatever you're going through, and it's not always easy. And you really got to know, you know, what it is that you desire in life, and where is it. You know, you got a choice in life, what to pick. You know, you can. Not everybody is going to go in the direction where I am. There's a lot of churches out there. They might go, you know, a lot of people that go to church, just because they go to church, it don't mean that they're going to make it, you know, through these end times, because we're gonna, you know, a lot of people, they live on fear, and that's what you got to watch out for. Is, you know, are you gonna, you know, some horrible event goes in the world, are you gonna, you know, run away and do what everybody else is doing, like with COVID came? And that's gonna be, this is what God has been helping me and training me. I've been going through training, bam, hardcore, you know, about having faith in God. My faith has increased on this journey because of where I am, you know, not being in my apartment, not going out to get a job, because God is preparing me for the, you know, these times right here, because we're going to be going through stuff in the future, you know, with digital IDs, you know, it's already going on in other countries, you know, and, you know, when that goes on in other countries, you know, United States is more than likely, and believe me, I'm telling you, they get these things, they already, you know, they're probably already doing the groundwork and getting everything all set. and it's gonna, when that hits, it's gonna hit without you even seeing it coming. And that's how things hit. Just with COVID, everything went, didn't it go fast? Didn't it just like hit, they found out, ooh, there's COVID, boom. Where did the injection come from? Where's the blank? Before you know it, now they got all this stuff that they were doing, things were happening fast, wasn't it? Before you know it, it's like, Starlight actually went through that, and I'm so grateful for my mentor because he helped me through it. Let love guide you, not fear. And for the people that are afraid all the time and listening to everybody else with their fears, because they're afraid, it's like sending like a virus around of a fear virus, and spreading it around to people, getting everybody afraid and shooken up, controlling the people to, but I'll tell you what, with these times, you can do whatever you want to do, but you really got to trust in God and trust in the universe that you're going to be protected. You're going to be, God's going to help you through those things. You don't really want to go on that, be around those people that are afraid of everything. And, oh, there's a snowstorm. And those are the ones running around and like, there's going to be a snowstorm, And you got to be careful with all that, because during those times, when we hit those times, God wants you to trust. God doesn't want you to let love guide you, not fear. And so, you are going through training, and it's going to go deep, and you're going to have crying times. Like I've had many of those times on this journey. There's going to be times that you're going to laugh, you're going to be so grateful, and you're going to be so happy for what God is teaching you and showing you, and the blessings and the ups and downs. And I'll tell you what, you're going to go for a heck of a ride. Nobody's going to escape this. This is something that we all have to go through. It's a cleansing. It's letting go of, we've been programmed so much throughout our whole life. And this is the time to let go of that stuff, let go of all the lies and things that don't serve us. And and that's what Starlight's going through. I'm going through I just told people this last night, I'm going through a purification, is letting go of things that don't serve me. And I've been doing this for years. And a big, huge thank you to my mentor that's helped me on this journey with his videos, Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, so I'm not crazy. I'm waking up, and you're gonna go through a lot of things that I'm going through right now, and a lot of things that other people that already are going through this, to understand that we are in a matrix. This is a stimulation. And, I can repeat this over and over again, and you might not quite get it. But if you're going to live for God, you're going to find out. You're going to have a wake-up call one day, and you're going to be seeing things that you thought, Starlight's crazy out there. But no, Starlight's not crazy. Starlight's waking up, and we all are going to go through this. There's nobody that's going to escape this. We all have to go through this. You have a choice, that you could serve the light force or the dark force. It's all up to you which way you're going to go. And the dark force are going to be the ones that are going to be afraid, and they're going to go that way. And there's going to be a lot of separations with churches, being divided and separated. It's really finding out who's real and not, who's fake and not, the ones that are real and, dealing with their stuff, facing their shadows and stuff like that. The ones that want to get healed, the ones that are ready to let go of that stuff, they're going to go, rise up, in frequencies. And other people that are not, they want to hold on to those things, they're going to go down into a lower frequency, So it's up to you which way you go. And all of us are going to go through this. Nobody is like, there's no doctor's notes here, Hey, you got a doctor's note? Okay, I guess you don't know. We all got to go through this. So the more that we have done in our past that wasn't pleasing to God, it's going to even be more intense for those people to go through, and because they got to get right with God on all those things, everything. There's so many things. It's like a list of things, a lot of things that we need to get healed from, of old programming, limiting belief systems, that we have to let go of all those things in order to rise up we need to let that stuff go and not be afraid. God loves us. It's a painful experience, but at the same time, when you understand and you realize really what is going on, is that there's much joy and there's much peace and there's a love that you can experience. You know, the greatest I've ever felt in my life is going on this experience here, going on this journey that I've been in, going on for all these years now. So I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to be prepared and realize that all what is going on is not to hurt you, it's to help you to let go, you know, and really find out who you really are. That's what it's about. It's find out who you are. Why are you here? You know, we all have a purpose here. We all have, you know, something to offer to help each other out. So anyway, I love you so much. So I hope you get a lot of help from this video. So, you know, you got to understand, when you just go with the flow and don't fight it, things go a lot smoother, and you just got to keep on trusting in the process, no matter how scary things might seem at times. Is that those are the things that we got to let go of, and just trust and know that we're in good hands with God. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.